Really what I'm going to do today is just to show you some collections of images that I've gathered over the years. Specifically, I'm interested in images that get produced in vast quantities by everyday algorithms. And it's precisely because none of these images were made by human hands that I find them interesting. I look for moments when these everyday algorithms produce uncanny images that look strange to humans, but that still read as images. And these images are all the absolute logical product of the systems out of which they come. Yeah, here's some collections of these images. I'll start here. This is an older project called Postcards from Google Earth. Strange snapshots where the illusion of a seamless planet kind of begin to break down because of two competing visual inputs that Google uses in its system. There's the 3D models to represent topography, and then there's aerial photography that's laid on top of the 3D models. And those always create competing visual inputs. Most of the time we just don't notice it, but in these particular moments, the shadows and depth cues kind of really create these uncanny melting surfaces. So they look strange, they might look like glitches, they might look like errors, but I prefer to think of them as the absolute logical result of the system. They're kind of an edge condition that points back to the software itself. And so in these moments, the software is calling attention to the way that it manipulates the images to produce its own illusions. As a collection, the anomalies are, in a way, the way I like to think about them is they're like a weird natural history, if you will, of the Google Earth software. The images from this next series are called Econo Clashes. They're a clashing of objects from various time periods, various cultures, various religions. The starting point for all of these images is the Met's public web archive. We selected all of the images tagged with the words God or religion. These images were randomly grouped and then fed into the Photoshop photo merge script. It's kind of a general consumer script that comes with every version of Photoshop, and it's usually used to stitch panoramas together to make these long panoramic images. Of course, in the case of Econo Clashes, it can't really figure out what to do with them, so it merges them, creating these sort of strange chimeric deities. So the Met uses standards when photographing their archive. All the objects are on a generic gray surface, similar lighting. Objects always occupy the same percentage of the frame regardless of scale. And so the Econo Clashes basically exploit this styling. The only reason the photo merge script can work is because of the stylistic consistency. So in a way, it's the system's rational construction that allows for this ultimate kind of confusion. These are just some installation shots. Okay, so these next two projects that I'm going to show, I'm kind of in the middle of. They're much newer work, and I'm just showing you some of the images that I've collected from the processes that I've been working on. This is from a series that's called Surface Survey. I spent the summer working with the Metropolitan Museum's Media Lab to produce 3D models of the objects in their collections. And what we're looking at now are texture maps that are produced by the process of digitization. To me, they're a kind of reverse archaeology. They're fragments extracted from many photographs and many different views automatically by the 3D modeling software. So these images are never really meant to be seen by humans. They're images used to create other images, right? They're images used to create the 3D models and the representations in the 3D models. So they're kind of these weird functional images. But yet those images and these images that I'm going to talk about in a sec are an uncanny reminder of the archaeologist's process of ordering objects. So this is a website I just launched on Wednesday. It's called 3D Maps minus 3D. And what we're looking at is Nokia's 3D maps with all the 3D information removed. So again, we're just looking at the texture maps. And these texture maps are flattened, fragmented, and exploded photographs where all hierarchy has kind of been deleted. And so these two are images used to make other images, automatically assembled and composed. And the vast majority of these images will never be seen by humans. And if that's the case, there's a possibility that what we're looking at aren't even images at all. And that's a question that I've really been asking myself recently is what is an image? Thank you.